Kasama natin ang ating guest for today, ang ating pong expert guest to talk about the settlement services of the Canadian government, Ms. Mary P. Malana. Hi, Mary P. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Hi, good morning, Sherry. Thank you for having me on your show. Maraming salamat for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll dive right into our topic. Yung unang-una is how to avail of the free services from the Canadian government for newcomers. So ano muna yung mga services na pwede nilang i-avail at paano sila pwede mag-avail ng mga ito?
Yeah, so basically, since it's a settlement service for newcomers, we have a lot of immigration settlement services for them. So, unang-una dyan, we assist them in their integration and settlement in the country. So, ang dami nilang mga information na kailangan malaman when they start to integrate in the country. So, dyan pumapasok yung information about immigration, about settlement, about employment, housing, education. So anything that might relate to their integration in the country, yun yung mga pinupuntahan nila sa amin dito sa center, and we provide them all the necessary information and assistance as they navigate their lives in Canada.
Let's be specific, Mary Pino. Ano yung mga specific na pwede nilang, concerns nila na pwede nilang ilapit sa inyong center?
Okay, so very basically, pagdating nila sa Canada, unang-una, kailangan nila ng information on how to look for housing, right? Kasi yan naman yung una nilang kailangan. And then, after that, when they started navigating their housing options, then they can probably start looking for assistance when it comes to employment and assistance on education system in the country, right? So kung yung mga anak nila ready na mag-aral, so they have all the options to check and decide where to enroll their children. So yun yung mga specific areas of concerns that we're trying to let them receive or inform them of. Yeah.
And of course, pwede silang Yeah, sorry to cut you there, Mary P. Kasi nabisita ko yung center, isa sa mga centers kung saan nandoon si Mary P. o nakabase si Mary P. And some of her colleagues. Ito yung, tas nakikita ko nga na may mga pumapasok na mga newcomers na gumagamit ng inyong computers. Yeah. Gumagamit ng inyong printer, halimbawa may mga nagpapaprint at meron ding nagwa-one-on-one sa ilang mga counselors doon. Siguro I assume they're asking about specific cases, for example, kung saan pwede mag-aral yung mga anak nila, paano nila may intindihan yung sistema sa Canada.
Yeah. Exactly, you're right, Cherry. So yung mga nakita mo dito sa office na pumapasok, those are the people who are looking for employment, for jobs. So as you nakita mo naman meron tayong center dito na ginagamit nila yung aming mga computers. And then yung fax machine and all that para makapag-send sila ng mga resumes nila for employment purpose. Some people that you have seen here are working on their immigration concerns. For example, international students who are applying for extension of work permit, mga PR who are applying for extension of their PR card, and some people who are applying for citizenship as well. So they come to the office to seek assistance and counseling. Most of them do not know the procedures, so we are there to support them and guide them as they transition and do all their work. Yeah.
Kasi Mary P, yung ibang ganito, inilalapit sa mga immigration consultant o sa ilang mga, yung iba nag-aabogado, no? And you are saying na some of the services, pwede rin kayong mag-advise at hindi nila kailangan magbayad. Because not everyone can afford all the services like that.
Oo. So yun naman yung, Sherry, yun naman yung namin, yung ina-outreach namin sa community, that we have a lot of free services provided by the government. They don't need to necessarily approach lawyers. And sorry to say this, sa mga lawyers natin and paralegals and consultants. These are all government-funded programs, So people who cannot afford to seek assistance and pay lawyers and consultants to do their work, they come to the agency, and we provide all these programs for free. So I remember when I first arrived in Canada, wala rin akong idea na meron palang government support program, no? So instead of people paying, yung ibang services ng third party people, they can come to the office and we can help them. So one example I can give you, no? Yung mga nag-a-apply ng permanent residency status or PR renewal, if they go to a lawyer or consultant, alam mo, malaking bagay na yon, no? They would be charged probably 2,000, 3,000 just for one application. And imagine how much they can save if they come to the center and we do the work for them. So really, it's promoting the free services of the government because there's too much funds allocated for newcomers integration, and part of the service that we're offering them is to provide the assistance, diba?
So it's the same kind of application, right? Because sometimes some newcomers, or a lot of the times, no, they're hesitant to file it themselves because they don't want to make mistakes. I mean, these are very crucial steps for their status here in Canada, right? And even if they want to try, for example, filling up the forms, just that uncertainty that one mistake can actually lead to a denial and will compromise your status here in Canada, which compromises your whole life. No, we're not talking about anything light here. It's really people's lives, people's families at stake. No, that's why they go and pay lawyers and immigration consultants, because they don't want to make mistakes. Now, if they go to your center, for example, and this is, I guess, the message that I also want to impart to those who are watching us, the center, the settlement center where Maripi works for example, is being funded by the IRCC. Kasi yun din ang tinanong ko kay Maripi dati. So ano yung kumbaga, ano yung background ninyo, or ano yung eligibility ninyo, ano yung accountability ninyo sa pagbibigay ng advice compared to, for example, to a lawyer or an immigration consultant. But they are under the IRCC, so maybe I'll leave the explanation to you, Maripi.
All right, that's a very good question, Sherry. No, in terms of our expertise and knowledge, siguro, knowledge base. We're all trained settlement workers. So we have a background in social work. Most of us have, modestly aside, master's degree working in the settlement sector and in community development sector. So we were all trained, and we have the knowledge base, skills, and education to practice this type of profession, no, in this type of industry. And the way that IRCC and our funding agencies determine the people who are working in the center is based on our knowledge and our education. So in other words, well, we have the capacity, the knowledge base, the skills, the training that are needed in this type of sector. And we can guarantee that the way they place us into this type of work is really based on our knowledge. So lahat ng training na pinagdaanan namin by the government provided to us, yun yung pwede naming sabihin sa community that they can get, if not the best, at least the most, how can I say, appropriate or based on a timely and accurate manner of service.
Oh, kasi they can go
we're
there.
We're not lawyers, but we have...
No, go ahead, Maripi.
We are not lawyers, but we have community legal clinic working for us as well. So we have a lot of partner agencies. We have legal experts on board if we are not, more equipped into that specific legalities of concerns. So we have the community legal aid coming in, and we're partnered with them. So in terms of the accuracy of the services that we provide, I think we can say that, yes, we're mostly trained and fit for this type of job. So people are free, feel comfortable to come here. Yeah.
Sa tingin mo ba, Maripi, maraming mga Pilipino na ang nakakaalam nito?
surprisingly, Cherry, no, maraming Pilipino ang nakakaalam and maybe some hindi. But, the one thing that I think one of the, nakikita kong issues ng Filipino community is medyo sila nahihiya na mag-approach na humingi ng tulong when needed. Kasi yung kanilang mentality is, marami naman tayong alam, bakit tayo lalapit sa ganyan. Parang ang feeling nila, nahihiya silang mag-approach. And later on, the problem is, kung meron ng matinding problema, saka lang sila lalapit. When they finally exhausted lawyers or consultants or some other, helping assistance, uh, you know,
When they're in the
tao na
desperate,
nilapitan nila.
ano
Tapos,
na,
yeah,
case na, oo.
exactly. And then, nothing happened. No? And down the road, they realize na kailangan pala talaga nila ng assistance ng, may
Sana
expertise
earlier on,
sa area
Alam
na
mo,
to.
parang
So,
that reminds me of, meron akong binibila ng mga health food. Sabi sa akin nung nagbebenta, sabi niya, I wish everyone was like you who would want to prevent. Kasi tinatanong niya sa akin, are you sick? Do you have diabetes? Do you have cancer? Do you have all these? Sabi ko, no, unfortunately, none of those. Sabi niya, I wish everyone would be like you who's proactive na before they even get sick, that they'll already revert to healthy options, no? Because ang dami daw sa mga customers niya, kung kailan yung, may cancer na or malala na yung stage, saka nag-shift to healthy living. So siguro yan yung naalala ko parang parallel into this. Bago pa maging malala yung mga kaso is to already avail of the help, especially if it's free. You're being funded by the IRCC, and that's, I guess, the message of this particular episode, that there is such a thing. Merong mga centers, baka yung mga nanonood sa atin alam na yon, but it will be good also to a reminder for the others, or baka you have friends who can make use of this information. Merong mga centers na funded by the IRCC, meaning sila mismo yung nagbibigay ng impormasyon sa mga kagaya nila Mary P, who have the the background, and they arm them with all the tools. The government mismo nanggagaling yung mga information, and you can even use their facilities there, like their computers, their printers, their counselors, to be able to help you with filling out your application, for example. And they even give advice on PR pathways that could be available to you guys. So at this juncture, Mary B, we'll just pause for a short break, and Immigration 101 will be right back. We're back on Immigration 101, and we are still with Mary P. Malana. We would like to thank her for sharing her expertise today. And for this particular segment of our program, we would like to zero in on one of the things that newcomers can avail, no, dito sa mga, or matutulungan sila nitong mga settlement centers na kagaya ng pinagtatrabahuhan ni Mary P. Ito naman, mga international students are eligible also for food and clothing banks. So tell us about that, Mary P.
All right, Cherry. So specifically, we will be talking on clothing, food bank, and furniture banks, no? Para pareho na yung konsepto nito, but the thing is, yung eligibility criteria, because I remember you asked me one time, are international students eligible ba for these programs? The answer is yes. Maraming hindi nakakaalam that there's so many food banks across the GTA. People can just walk in. But in some cases, particularly on furniture and clothing banks, you will need a referral. Okay, let me highlight on that. We have a very limited supply for furnitures in the GTAs, particularly, right? Because this is just based on sponsorship and support from local companies. So people come on queue to apply for the furniture and clothing banks. Hindi katulad ng food bank that people can just walk in. So primarily, they will be asked their status in Canada. However, this is not the main eligibility criteria, because food bank is supposed to, help people who cannot afford to put in food on the table, or yung mga newcomers na nag-i-struggle financially to buy, the very basic, food, right, na kailangan nila. So these food banks are all open to everyone, regardless of their status in Canada. And what I mean by that is even international students or foreign workers, temporary workers, are open. They're eligible to come and, get the service. But on the other hand, the furniture bank, which I mentioned earlier, and the clothing banks are two totally different things. So if you will apply for the furniture bank, you would have to come to our center and ask for referral, which I think I mentioned before as well. So that referral will now give you like parang a temporary pass to get into the furniture banks and clothing banks that you will be asking for that type of assistance based on the assessment of our caseworkers. So, doon na pumapasok yung aming assessment kung talagang kailangan ba nila yung services na yon. Kasi this is just limited service.
Okay.
So, when we have the referral for the furniture and clothing banks, then they can go straight to these companies and banks, and then they can show them the referral that we made for them, and they will start processing the application.
Okay. So ano naman ang hinahanap ninyo para mabigyan nyo sila ng referral?
Well, of course, we ask them kung ano yung kanilang financial status in Canada. No? Basically, alam naman natin for newcomers, syempre nag-i-struggle sila financially, especially for those who are still looking for job. Or kahit may mga employment na sila, nahihirapan pa rin sila. Alam mo dito, ang mahal-mahal ng damit, Sherry. Alam mo yan, di ba? If people go on interview during the winter time, kailangan nilang magsuot ng, they have to be totally equipped.
Lahat ng damit ko ngayon, Mary P, ano pa to? Galing pa tong Pilipinas na sinusuot ko pa dati. Mahal talaga. Mahal lang damit, mahal lang everything. Oo. Yeah, go ahead.
And then I remember, Sherry, nung nag-i-start din ako dito and I would go for interview, for government interview, I cannot even afford to buy yung, alam mo, yung, ano ba tawag nila dito? Kasi hindi katulad sa Pilipinas na you can wear, yung casual clothing for interview. Dito hindi, di ba may sinusunod naman sila talagang mga damit na pang-interview, especially kung, alam mo na, medyo, yung medyo, kunyari sa government ka mag-a-apply, kailangan naka-coat and tie ka and all that.
Clothing,
and I didn't realize at the time na sobrang ang mahal. I remember, sabi ko gusto kong manghiram nung time na yon, pero I didn't know that there was a service like this for people. So now that we're aware, we wanted to encourage people to avail of these services. Diba, napakalaking tulong na yan sa inyo. And not only that, alam mong kinaganda, pag nagpunta ka ng clothing bank, ito-test pa nila yung damit sa'yo. So meron silang mga tawag doon, yung mga tao na nagtatrabaho doon, na tinitignan.
Oo, parang meron kang consultant, parang meron kang stylist, ganun.
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yes, I
was looking for that word, stylist. Oo. Yeah, tapos pinapare nila yung damit mo sa sapatos mo, kung ano yung overall look mo pagdating mo sa interview, yung ganon. So imagine we have that service pala dito na everyone knows, hindi lahat ng tao alam. So that's why we're trying to reach out to our community to let them, get informed and be aware that we have these free services. Punta kayo sa mga ganito. All you need to do is come approach us. Case workers will determine your status. I'm not talking about immigration status, but your overall financial status.
Right.
And
talaga namang worthy ka,
qualified.
Oo. Mary P, itong clothes na sinasabi mo kanila, halimbawa for a job interview nyo, and you want to dress appropriately. At saka, in reality naman talaga, how many times will you use the suit? For example, kung hindi ka matanggap dito sa trabaho na to, anong gagawin mo dun sa $300 suit mo or I don't know how much it is, no? But this is for return, this is for loan, or binibigay na ba ito ng mga clothing banks?
Alam mo, binibigay talaga nila yan. Yeah. And
okay.
some yung mga bagong-bago talaga, meron din magi-sponsor sa'yo. I just came to know about that, no? For example, if you would go there quite early before your actual interview, may papakita ka lang na note na, okay, I'm going here for an actual interview and all that. So it's a corporate world or ganitong klaseng industry. So they would make the suggestions for you, no? Okay, so this is the one appropriate for you to wear during your interview, mga ganyan. And then, natutuwa silang i-dress up ka talaga nila. And then after the interview, natanggap ka man o hindi, they'll give the whole package to you. O di ba ang bongga?
Ang sarap din kasi nung pakiramdam, Maripi, while you're saying that, na parang merong kang kaakibat dun sa journey mo to be successful here in Canada. Halimbawa, when they dress you up, and these are strangers, hindi ba, and they're Canadians, it makes the person feel na parang, oh, maybe I belong in this community. Some people actually care about my success as a newcomer, di ba? It can be as simple as providing the clothes for you, but I can just imagine how a newcomer would feel coming into that clothing bank and, having the attention, even just the time of these people to pay attention to him and what he wears. Kaya siguro minsan sabihin natin sa mga Pilipino, wag na tayo masyado mahiya kasi masyado tayo mahiyain eh. Either masyado tayo mahiyain or minsan masyado tayo mayabang. So, doon tayo sa gitna, no? Kasi minsan, you need the help, but also when they dote on you and really want to give you attention, minsan tayo, wag na, okay na yan, or siguro yung first thing na ibigay nila, okay na to, kahit maluwag, ganyan. Be comfortable that someone is helping you, be comfortable that someone is offering help also, because that's also part of your integration and your adjustment to the life here in Canada, because, if you don't ask for help, you're not gonna get any. And if you're not comfortable with that help, then it will lead you with a lesser value than what you truly deserve, right?
Oo. Yes, Sherry, I totally agree with you, no? Siguro yung mentality natin, medyo kailangan nating i-adjust na, no? Sometimes kasi, totoo yon yung pride natin. Ako, bakit ako pupunta ng clothing bank? Sa Pilipinas nga, ito yung work ko, ganito yung ginagawa ko.
Manager ako sa bangko.
Manager ako. Correct. Diba? But you're starting your life in a different world. You're starting your life in a different country. So siguro part of your integration process is to humble yourself, no? I'd like to focus on that area, yung sinabi mo kanina, na siguro medyo i-adjust natin yung ating mentality. Kasi hindi naman ito forever thing, right? Sa simula lang ito, tapos kung medyo okay na tayo, nakapag-integrate na tayo, nakapag-settle na tayo, then, by all means, we can do yung mga bagay na hindi na tayo magdidepend sa ganitong klaseng assistance. But for the time being, really, if you need it, there's the service, diba? We might as well, grab it kasi these are all funded by the government. Ang dami-daming nakikinabang na mga bagong dating dito sa Canada na ibang lahi. And sadly, I don't really see very often from our community reaching out to this type of services. And medyo doon ako na ako pa yung kailangan mag-reach out sa tao at magsabi na, hey, come on, go to this place. Alam mo, nakakatuwa minsan, Sherry, no? Nagkakape ako somewhere, tapos nakikimarites ako pag may mga naririnig ako mga tao nagkukwentuhan. Bakit ganito? Kailangan ko ng ganito. Alam mo, lalapit ako, I do not mind, no? Minsan nasa mall ako, may mga nagchichikahan, may mga international students ako naririnig na nagkukwentuhan or caregivers, sabi nila, kailangan ganito. Alam mo, nakakatuwa. Everywhere I go, I would carry my little, yung tawag dito, yung aking business card. Para ako nagbebenta sa lansangan minsan. Sabi ko, alam nyo, ganito, meron tayong program sa government na ganito. And then, natutuwa sila, sabi, meron palang ganon. Yes. So, this is our goal. This is our objective, Cherry, that we're trying our best to reach out our kababayans, our community, to be mindful and be aware na may mga ganito palang mga government support programs.
In fact, just to follow up with the story of Maripi there, nagpapasalamat nga kami na ikaw rin ang nag-email sa amin. No, nakita mo yung programa na ito, na sinabi mo, pwede mong i-share itong knowledge mo and what you do, no, related to our program. And that just shows how much I'm assuming how much you love your job, how much you love what you're doing. And we are happy that you reached out to us, and now that we are able to disseminate this information to our kababayans and even those who are not Filipinos. But we would, kasi, we love seeing Filipinos succeed in what they do, and we love seeing you there in the settlement office, a social worker, somebody who, obviously a very we're just proud to see a Filipina like you in that office, and we're happy to work with you in this particular program to be able to disseminate that information.
Alam mo, Sherry, I'm also very thankful na na-meet kita, nakilala kita. I'm just so proud na dito sa Canada, nakikita natin yung mga well-experienced people, moving here, coming here, and start their life. And I'm pretty sure na lahat kung para-pareho yung mentality natin na we wanted to better our lives, just like you, when we had this private conversation about transition, about moving forward, about aiming to be better in Canada, I think yung support ng government na ganito is very essential and very helpful, is we just have to help each other kasi gano'n naman talaga dapat nagsisimula tayong lahat sa bansa na ito. And I think Filipinos are very, very creative, very, very knowledgeable. Marami tayong alam. So we just have to push each other harder, and we have to be cooperative, supportive sa bawat isa. And I'm pretty sure we can all be successful in Canada, just like you, di ba?
Just like you and I, But we're also still aiming to be better, of course, Pero Mary P, let us know, where are the centers? Are they all over Canada? Are these some? Kasi mga nakikinig sa atin might be, all over scattered in Canada. Saan ba to? Saan ba sila pwedeng pumunta? Or maybe a lead on, titingnan muna ba nila yung website? May malapit ba sa kanila? How do they find the center?
Okay, so yes, we have settlement services in over 30 languages across Canada. So we have offices in Mississauga, in Brampton, in Scarborough, in the Greater Toronto area. So we have satellite offices all across the region. So they can just visit our website at www.ccscatcrosscultural.org. And then if we can also put on the screen yung aming contact information, so they can easily access us and just approach us. Yeah.
Sige,
so again, Sherry,
yeah.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So again, I just like to emphasize, for our viewers, na please come. Get the service that you need. These are all funded by the government. There's no financial obligation on your part. Come and see the center. There's so many different programs and services that are readily available for you. You can reach out to us anytime. We're open from Monday to Friday from 9 to 10. We have school settlement workers that can assist your children in the school setting as well. We have workers working in the libraries as well that are open on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So marami kayo talagang pwedeng mapuntahan. Just feel free to come and, approach us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And for those who have, you mentioned nabitin, baka they just joined in the program or missed the first part of the program, we will be posting this. It will stay on our Facebook, on Filipino TV official Facebook's page, for a few days. And you can rewatch what we talked about earlier, about food, clothing, and furniture banks, for newcomers. And if you have questions, you can post it on our Facebook page. Even if the show is over already, we'll try to, kasi we do intend to get Mary P again on another episode of our program so we can tackle the other things. So if there are things that you want to find out more, put it on our Facebook page, just on the comment section, so that we know what you want to discuss, we know what you want to find out. And yeah, at this point, we want to thank Mary P for the guesting and for all that information that you have shared with our viewers today. And until next time, Mary P.
Maraming salamat, Sherry. Thank you so much for the opportunity that you have given to me to promote the services of our center. Thank you so much. At hopefully, nakatulong naman tayo kahit papano sa ating mga kababayan na nangangailangan ng assistance. Thank you, Sherry. See you again in the next episode.
At dito po muna nagtatapos ang Immigration 101. Magbabalik po tayo next week. We hope we were able to help you with the information that we gave you today. See you next week.